Lumos. Hello, friends. Welcome back to Shell Cottage Radio. I'm your host, Ezra, a.k.a. Bill, also known as Sir Ezra the Watchful, History of Magic Professor of the Flannel Wizard, obviously. Yours truly, me. Please welcome your lovely Design Witch, the fascination of this year, Tri-Wizard Champion herself, and my wonderful co-host and yours, Lottie, a.k.a. Fleur.
Hallo und einen wunderschönen guten Tag. It's so good to have you back in our beautiful little cottage on the outskirts of Tinworth. Kommt rein und macht's euch gemütlich. Welcome to episode 83, in which we discuss Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This week we'll talk about chapter 4, Back to the Burrow. We'll give you a quick life update with our homemade cottage ketchup, feed our brains with important trivia knowledge, and then dive head on into our chapter summary audio experience. Do you remember all the names we had made up for our podcast? Do you know why I'm asking this episode?
No, not really. I'm guessing maybe it's like our anniversary or something. I don't even know. When did we start this thing?
I don't even know.
Okay, so clearly not that. See, you get into some dangerous waters when you just ask random questions that are like, oh my God.
Shout out to Kayla.
Yeah, shout out to Kayla for, we just want to make people laugh sometimes, we're not that funny. But what was the original question? Oh yeah, the names of the podcast. I know Back to the Burrow was one.
Yes, and I love that it's chapter 4, favorite number, and it's Back to the Burrow, and that was definitely in the run for our podcast name.
It's not much.
Burrow.
It's not much.
But it's home.
Did we have other names? I don't even remember.
Yes, so we have a list. Remember, a Google Doc when we first started talking.
Oh, wow.
The other day, we stumbled upon old Google Docs. And It was just so funny, the stuff we wrote in there.
I think one of the lines we read last night when you found that was like, I think I said something like the way the computer screen reflects gently off of your eyes as I gaze. Wasn't it?
What?
I'm making that up. I'm telling you. I could see, because remember we weren't like we hadn't really met yet. We were just on the computer.
I know.
That was way back in the day.
It was great though, and we kept using it though after we met in Costa Rica. So
yeah, we did. We started doing some some quizzes and stuff, didn't we?
Yes. What Pokemon are you? What Harry Potter character are you?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm Harry and you're Ron.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. We're best buds.
We are.
Yeah. What
That's
else
so
though?
funny.
Yeah. Then we did Pokemon. Wasn't I?
You were
Raichu?
my favorite Pokemon. You were Raichu. And I was Alakazam.
Yeah. Who's that?
Which was awesome. I love it.
Just kidding. Yeah. So
Alakazam's really
okay.
cool.
So are you gonna read some of the names? Do you have
Yes. So again, we kept the doc for a while, and we jotted down some ideas for our Harry Potter podcast names.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually like an actual chapter in our doc, and let me read them to you. Okay, so, and guys, if you listen to this and you're like, oh my goodness, why didn't you name your podcast like this? You should let us know. We're not going to change the name ever because we love Shell Cottage Radio, but it's kind of funny. Okay, so the first one on the list is actually Back to the Burrow.
Back to the Burrow, baby.
The Seeker and the Keeper.
The Seeker and the Keeper. Wow.
The Phoenix family.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Who came up with these?
We did.
I approve any of the? I don't know.
The Phoenix family, a.k.a. the Dumbledore family? I don't know.
I'm pretty particular about names.
Yeah, we were looking for...
Oh, that's what we were doing.
Not
Alliteration.
Alliteration.
You do have to, when you're making the initial list, you have to just sort of word vomit onto the screen.
Yes,
and
that's
just
what we
put
did.
stuff down. So maybe that's what this list is. I am shaking in my boots because I have no idea what the next one is. So
it is LL, Lumos, and lightsabers.
Oh yeah, we were thinking about doing
Lumos
something
and lightsabers,
like Star Wars and Harry Potter.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this one's funny. Platform 9 3/4 and make every video, every episode exactly 9 minutes and 45 seconds long.
Could you imagine? We could do that on our
Meta.
YouTube videos. That'd be good.
That's fun.
That'd be fun.
Platform 9 3/4. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And then King's Cross Station. Merlin's Beard something. So again,
Merlin's
we
beard.
just threw out ideas on this doc. Merlin's beard and
Okay.
something.
Okay.
Oh my god, this is cringy.
Oh God.
The next one is fantastic relationships and where to find them.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Hey guys, welcome to
All right,
Fantastic Relationships and Where to Find Them. You're in the right place. It's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, what were we gonna do with it?
I don't know.
Like,
Maybe it was gonna be like a live call
meet your Potter friend.
sweetheart,
or,
yeah.
mhm.
Or no, maybe it was just like a call in and like relationship advice. So like, tell us what's going on like in your relationship, and we're gonna. Have you ever heard some of those radio shows back in the day where it was like Dr. Love? You would call
Yes.
in and he would give you advice, and you're like, what? Does this guy ever get out on the town? That's crazy. All right.
Then something with measles.
Something with measles.
And the last one is just Raven Puff or Huffleclaw magic. So original.
Yeah. I don't think we really got super into that list, by the way, because I could come up with a bunch of.
I know
other-
we had more. We definitely had more.
I was
But
gonna say, okay.
I just thought it was fun
That
to
is
read
fun.
it to you guys.
Yeah.
What would be your podcast name if you started a podcast? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. What are you gonna call yourselves? I mean, because some of you out there should start a podcast. And speaking of which,
Shout out to Fantastic Relationships and Where to Find Them.
shout out to those guys. They are doing a great job. What were you gonna say?
Love Bites, right?
Love Bites. Have they
Yes.
started though? I don't even know.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that wasn't at all
Oops.
what I
were
was
you-
going to say.
Oh, okay.
We're
I
out
thought
of
you
sync.
wanted to give them a shout out. What
We're
were you
out
gonna
of sync.
do?
That's coming down the line. That's coming down the line.
We
I
don't-
don't know if that's really happening yet or not.
Sorry.
So let's just slow our roll on that.
Rewind.
What if all of a sudden, like the next day, we're not even tell you who's involved in that. They wake up and there's like 50 followers. Like, dude, we haven't even posted an episode.
Yeah.
What's going on? Well, look.
Love Bites Pod.
No, I was gonna say if you're interested, I think at our like $5 tier on Patreon, we are going to over the summer at some point.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Give people an opportunity to come on the show, and not even just like one person, but basically do like kind of, we've said this in the past, like quarterly kind of meetups where it's on Discord and
Yes.
you raise your hand and we go click, you can talk now.
Yes.
Boom. I like that click power.
Yes. It'll be so much fun.
Yeah,
Because then we can actually, talk to you guys and
it'd
you
be
can chime in and tell us what you think about certain things. Sorry.
okay, come on.
Sorry.
No, you're right.
Just
I
get
was
excited.
interrupting you. Sorry. So, that's all I'd say. Oh my gosh, no. I used to do on Bend the Knee, an old podcast that I ran with my buddy Matt. We would do a follow-up Friday edition where people could basically come in Discord, and we would do that. And it was a lot of fun. People came in and they just clicked and popped in and did their thing. So
Send in your suggestions, because we're talking about names and podcasts, but send in your suggestions. It's a hard word to say. For names for our Discord server.
Oh yeah, what do we want to call the server?
I mean, we could just call it good old Shell Cottage Discord, but maybe you guys have a cool idea.
Maybe that's
So,
a cooler name.
let us know.
Yeah.
Send us an owl.
Is it pretentious that I wanted to kind of change the name? We have like Dumbledore's Army, but we jokingly
That's
we
right.
jokingly wanted to call it Bill's Army.
Yes, I love it.
Let's go.
We can totally do that.
Yeah, I mean, we could.
What do you think?
I don't know. You guys let us know. I feel like we've just been all over the place.
Yes.
Just
What else?
rambling,
What else do
rambling.
we have for catch up?
Well, basically, we've had spring break. We've been catching up on our Star Wars shows. We've been, oh my gosh, I reformatted all of my Adobe software stuff.
Oh, it looks great now.
I literally have something called like the master editing. I don't even know what it is. It's like workspace
Template.
layout.
Yeah, template.
Yeah. And I feel so good about it. I can do so much more editing now. So things are in the works.
Yes.
I'm feeling really good about things that are coming down the line. So that typically means more podcasting and more content creation, just so you guys know. So it's good things. All right. If you enjoy listening to our podcast. Okay. What else has been going on? Oh, figured out Adobe Photoshop the other day too.
You
Lottie's
did.
also been figuring out a couple different things that she's working on the side. So we're just like creative little spirits, you guys, and we just love creating. Okay.
Yes.
So especially from the coziness of our own little cottage.
Yes, it is. It's
great.
really. We're homebodies. Cheers to
great.
that.
Yeah, cheers, bro. Cheers. What is going on? I feel like we both are amped up on some coffee
On the brew.
beans. Yeah, and it's just
The good brew.
it's just got us going. Anyway, what if we made our own coffee? Yeah, we
Right?
had like our
Your
own
own-
blend, you know?
If you are a coffee company,
Oh, if you guys want to sponsor us, let us know. We will push your product. What would it have? It'd probably have some sea salt in it, right? Sea salt in your coffee.
No. Sea salt caramel.
I don't know. I just thought about by the sea.
Something. Butterbeer.
What else is going on in the cottage? Though?
Butterscotch.
Anything else you want to mention? You little yeah. Put you on the spot. How's it feel, huh? What? Yeah.
No, just that we've been enjoying having a break. A 1 week break
Mhm.
is perfect to not go anywhere. And shout out to everyone who went somewhere. I'm enjoying watching Tiffany and her family. They're out in
yeah.
Ireland, which
Yeah.
is awesome. We
That's cool.
love Scotland, Ireland, England. We want to go to Wales one day. So we just love traveling up to
Yeah.
the UK and to the British Isles. So
Do we have any listeners from Scotland or Ireland
Let
or
us know.
England? Please let us know because
you're cool.
Because you're cool.
You guys are all cool.
You're all cool.
honestly.
But no, we want to travel there more.
Yes.
So,
But also I was like trying to say I appreciate also staying at home, getting some things organized, getting your mind organized, going out for breakfast here and there.
I'm so hungry.
Yeah, we have night and it's noon. It's like
What is
quarter
going
past noon.
on?
That was a very
Guys,
British way to say what time it is.
I'm also it was. I'm also if I have been liking your Instagram post or what are they? Oh, okay. So you know when you like someone's story or you like their Instagram post, and if your phone is still on at night, it will go off. Right, your phone will make a little noise, or especially if it's turned on.
Yeah. True.
For us this week, I have been doing my check my social media, interact with some of our listeners and different people at like past midnight.
Yeah.
We are on a terrible
I
sleep
know.
pattern right now. We didn't go to bed till 1 o'clock in the morning. And Cameron, my good friend Cameron, who we just gave a discreet shout out to inadvertently, earlier, I was like messaging him. I was sending him messages about something he had sent me earlier that day. Well, he sent that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was editing and working and doing and whatever, and
Yeah.
like I didn't get to bed until like 11 or midnight. And then I was like, well, catch up on these messages, and I sent him a bunch of messages. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's probably asleep, and I hope I didn't wake him up. But I didn't think about it at the time. I thought, oh, it's probably like what, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. This is normal, and it wasn't. So
But honestly, it feels, I don't know, more natural this way. I don't feel tired until like 11 at night, and I sleep so well. I sleep so much better because we wake up at 8.
Yeah.
8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock, sometimes later because last night it was a little later, but the sun is already up, so that definitely helps the circadian rhythm.
the circadian
Circadian rhyme.
the circadian rhyme. We have
Did you just see
flickering
that?
lights in this shell cottage right now. Yeah, we've
I
got
thought
some.
the bulb
But you know what's
exploded.
interesting? Only that bulb flashed over there, didn't it?
It's all. I think it's when the fridge, because it's probably connected to the fridge. I think the fridge sometimes, when it makes noises, that light flickers.
Uh-huh.
It's
When
elec-
when the fridge speaks, the lights go out.
electricity.
Electricity is an issue. Very fitting for this next chapter we're about to dive into. All right. Hey, time to move on to something else. We've been rambling. Sorry about that. Sometimes we just have to cut loose a little bit. We would like to announce the winners of our iTunes review giveaway.
Yes, thank you so much to everyone who left us a written review. That really helped the podcast. It really motivates us so much when we read
does.
that, because it's like online teaching. Sometimes you just speak into your computer and you don't really know what's happening, but when that one student turns on their camera and their microphone and they're like, "Thank you, Frau Kirk. Today I learned so much." You're
Yeah.
like, "Thanks."
Cool. No, I know. It is
That means
motivating.
a
And
lot.
it does mean a lot. We actually have 2 new reviews that I'm going to read and give a shout out to here. Just because I was like, wow, it's so cool. We got people still pouring in and doing reviews. Now, if you don't win, just so you guys know, we are doing another giveaway, except for this one's going to be much easier to coordinate
Yes.
and much quicker. It is going to be in the summer, right, when we start. we're going to have 3 gifts on Instagram where basically you have to go to Shell Cottage. Wow, leading you astray. Fleurandbill. Where do we try to go? Go to Fleurandbill on Instagram. We will have a post. This is probably going to be, so you need to be following. This will probably be sometime in
June, July.
June? Yeah, June.
Maybe
because we're going to be super, like, we have so many things planned. You're going to sneeze?
I thought I was, but then it went away.
You looked like you were going to sneeze.
The moment you looked at me, it went away. That was magic.
I have that power. I have the power to command you to sneeze and to cease your sneezing. So it's my superpower. Could you imagine if that was your only superpower?
Kind of cool.
Be kind of cool, right?
But random.
Yeah, be random. So we have our 5 winners here, and we think we know who most of them are. But if not, it's hard with the username, so we'll kind of see. Sorry. So first up, the Harry Potter cookbook. The Harry Potter cookbook goes to Christine Lottie.
Christine Lottie.
Ba-boom.
Is that Christine Lotman?
I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm assuming.
Whee! Congrats.
There were 2 Lotties in our review thing, so I'm hoping that's one of them. If you hear your name though, and you're like, that's actually me, and we don't have it right, please send us a message. Send us at fleurandbill@gmail.com, and we will correct it and get it right.
Yes.
Because we're not quite sure.
The unofficial Harry Potter cookbook, from cauldron cakes to Knickerbocker glory. More than 150 magical recipes for wizards and non-wizards alike. Congrats, guys. This is yours now.
Let's go. Let's make some yummy food. Next up, and this one, this next, well, we don't have it. Don't worry about it. This is our T-shirt / bonus surprise T-shirt that I'm throwing in. I have collected over the years several T-shirts from several different podcasts. I need to disperse of them a little bit. Yeah. They take up space. My dad's also always wondering why I have this box of T-shirts like at his house. Sorry, Dad. But so Weston 174.
Let's go.
Next up, we have the Funko Pop Tom Riddle.
Sorry about that.
As we make a few extra pops here on the microphone, because Lottie is just moving around.
Look at that bad boy. I mean,
Look
literally
at that
bad boy.
He is a bad boy. And so actually,
I don't know if it's focused or not.
This is going to go to Slytherin Reading Room, which is Angelina.
How perfect.
Yeah.
Angelina, this bad boy is yours. What's next?
Next up, we have the Order of the Phoenix Illustrated Edition. Let's just go ahead and get the big bad boy out of the way.
I mean, this
it's
probably
huge.
Weighs more than little Ruby.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Little niece.
I'm sure it actually does weigh more than her.
Oh my gosh.
So that is the Harry Potter Illustrated edition of the Order of the Phoenix, and the winner of that is Melissa Cav, which we believe is Melissa Kavanaugh.
Congrats, Melissa.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is awesome. I love the illustrated versions. They're so beautiful, and they're awesome because I always dream of one day I'm going to read them to my kids and show them the illustrations, because my mom used to read a lot to me.
Yeah. That is cool. And we do plan on getting the whole set once we have our nice little studio.
In German.
In German. We're going to get them in German.
I actually have the first 3 in German, but they're in Germany, so I have to go and get them.
Make sure you save those and that those don't
Absolutely.
Okay, because that's a kind of a... What's going on right now?
I'm so unprofessional.
You are just bopping the microphone left and right. Okay. And finally, we have the Hufflepuff book signed by yours truly, and the winner of that is, and I'm guessing, Rika _2. So, but
Let's go, Rika.
Does Rika know that it? And because only Lottie would have known this. I was like, well, the winner's Reich, and she's like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
By Reich, you mean Rika, and I was like, I don't know.
What's it called? The software that reads it to you.
Yeah.
It says Reich.
Reich, and I was like, whoever that is.
That's hilarious.
And so then she's like, that's Rika, and I was like, oh yeah. But it reminds me of Nike.
Yeah. Oh, did you know that in Germany, no one knows if it's Nike or Nike? Like everyone says it differently.
Well, yeah, I think we do too. Yeah.
So no one knows.
Yeah, it's Nike and Nike.
It's Nike.
Yeah, it's both.
Nike.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not a fashion dude. We highly encourage you. We have 3 other, I think, really fun prizes: a wand, a special scarf, and something else that's coming down the line. Giveaways that we're going to be doing on Instagram, and we would love to again, do sort of our spinning. We use ChatGPT, some AI technology, recorded the screen, and we're going to do that live on Instagram when we get a chance. But because we learned we really can't message any of these people and didn't really know what to do. So if we got it wrong and you're not the right person and we said you, then
please be honest.
Just be honest. Yeah, tell us.
Please be a puff.
Please tell us the truth.
Angelina's like, I'm no puff.
She's that was easy though. So yeah, her username matches up perfectly with her Instagram username. So that was very easy. In the future, I think it's gonna be a lot more fun to do just the Instagram version. I've seen these guys doing the lightsaber giveaways.
Yes. And
I'm planning on doing one. Just if there are any Star Wars fans here, I'm planning on doing a lightsaber giveaway myself because it's fun. It can grow your social media and you get to do something really cool and award some person a cool lightsaber that is like a couple $100.
Giveaways, actually.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I've always thought the spirit of it is really cool. So we plan on doing more of this.
Sorry, I thought we were.
What are you doing over there? What is it?
I was gonna say, shout out to shout out to.
I'm sorry.
Beacons AI, because I won a pair of AirPods.
You did, and you love those things.
Noise canceling AirPods. I love them.
Right.
And we see Hufflepuff Melissa tagging us when you
love
participate in giveaways, and I'm always like making sure to
please tag us in giveaways.
To press my thumbs for you like a real German.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good
That's
luck.
What it means.
And so yeah, like if this goes well and people enjoy it and they tag a friend and all that kind of stuff in it, then we will do more of these because
this was fun. We really appreciate that you guys left us your reviews.
Yeah, it does help the podcast big time.
Yes.
And just so you know, we'll be doing more of that. And again, we want to offer better rewards and perks over on Patreon so you guys can enjoy those. Mm-hmm. We do have an additional episode, an extendable ear edition coming up soon to you guys. We are going to be doing a Discord hangout soon. Got to get the Discord lined up before the summer. But yeah, that's all coming down the line, and we're excited to keep offering that and build some community and just have fun. Just have fun with it.
All right, then let's have some fun with some trivia. Did you bring a question today?
Of course I did.
Oh, you did?
But I want you to ask me yours first because I want to know where I stand.
As you guys know now, we do bring one question for each other, and then one question will be picked from our trivia box. Mm-hmm. Randomly. Some of them are really easy, but we'll see. Easy.
Let's go.
So you want me to ask you first?
Yeah.
Okay. My question for you is, in this chapter, Dudley eats a certain type of candy.
Yeah.
Do you remember the full name of this candy that later will be part of the Weasley Weasleys shop?
Yeah.
What's the official name of this candy?
This is called it is a tongue. It's taffy. Tongue. What?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's something taffy.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taffy. Tongue taffy. Tongue taffy. Something. What? What is the answer?
So do you give your final answer? And
that's my final answer. It is a exploding tongue taffy.
I'm sorry, I can't give you a point for that.
Why?
It's a tongue. So ton, T-O-N, tongue, toffee with an O. Like a ton.
All right.
Tongue.
Okay.
Toffee.
Wow.
That's it.
You get me on a technicality. You guys hear this? You hear this injustice?
Wait, you didn't say ton at all, so.
So you gotta get your old German on me right now.
Had you said tongue taffy, I would have counted that.
I am hoping that you see the attitude that just came across in that eye gaze. Like, Rika will understand. Other people will. Like, that is a very German thing. Like, well, let me be real technical with you. And it's like, I'm just kidding. I know I got it wrong. Sorry.
You're so cute. Okay, give me your question so I can embarrass myself.
Where did Harry first meet Draco Malfoy?
I know that one. They first met, and we're talking about the books, right?
Yes, we are.
Then they first met at Madame Malkin's. At the
I need the
rope
full
shop.
name. I need the full name. You want to get real technical with me, Missy? I will get technical. Madame Malkin's. Come on.
Magical.
I had to get very specific with that tongue toffee, didn't I? I had to get real particular.
Well, that was the question, though. But it doesn't count saying Madame Malkin's.
That's not where they met. Madame Malkin's what? Her house?
Her shop where she sells clothing, and it's a, I don't even know what the English name is for a Schneiderei. It's like a, where you customize pieces of clothing for people and you sell them.
For sure, but I'm like, which one? Which one? How do you distinguish? I'll give it to you.
Wait. Give me the first letter.
Madame Malkin's R is the next.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 words after it. Madame Malkin's, and then
R.
and
What's the second? What does
F,
it start with?
and the third is A, and then the fourth is O.
Robes for all occasions.
Wow! That was very good.
Sorry.
That was very
good. Is that a point for me?
That was very good.
I mean, I know you got. You
See
gave
how
me a hint.
competitive you get?
Sorry.
But was there not a full name for her shop, and did you not eventually get it? You did. So I'm going to give you credit for that. Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions. Okay.
Do I get a point? Do I have a point?
You get a point. Yes. Okay. Good job.
So now on to the trivia questions here, and you start rolling the die, and I'm gonna pull up a question card. What is
Green.
it? Green.
For Slytherin.
This is animals and magical creatures.
I know. It's easy. Come on. Give it to me. Buckbeak.
Wrong.
I didn't even hear the question.
You're wrong.
Come on.
What is the name of Harry's owl? The full name.
Hedwig. Hedwig. Her name is
The
Hedwig.
full name. No, it's Hedwig.
I was like, what? Hedwig. One, okay. Give me,
You draw a card.
Switcherooski.
Go. Switch it up.
Switch it up here, okay.
And
Okay.
I'm going to roll the die.
Okay.
Blue.
Blue. Okay, so this is Hogwarts. According to legend, who built the Chamber of Secrets within Hogwarts?
That was Slytherin.
These are way too easy.
That's okay. One day, we think that, but one day we're going to go ask an easy question, and we're not going to remember.
Any of these?
Oh,
there are some.
I know
that
there are some that are not that easy, so.
Man.
We just got to get through them. We have to, in the training, in a practice session, you also have to get through the easy drills, right?
But it's so crazy because there are hard questions on that card.
We just haven't got them yet.
That's nuts.
Yep.
Okay,
We'll
fine.
get to them.
Fair.
So good job, but guess what? This round goes to Ravenclaw.
Nice. Are you going to keep points? You keeping score?
Yes.
Okay.
So last time it was 2-2, and today it is 2-1 for Lottie.
So where did Draco meet Harry again for the first time?
Malkin's robes for all occasions.
Robes for all occasions. I feel like we need to just... That's the name of her shop.
Yes.
She put a lot of, all right.
Yes. Okie dokie. That was fun. After an hour or so, you want to get into the summary?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Chapter 4, Back to the Burrow. The atmosphere at Privet Drive is tense. It's Sunday afternoon, and it's the day on which Harry is supposed to be picked up by the Weasleys. They're going to take him to the Quidditch World Cup final, and then he'll be staying with them at the Burrow for the rest of the summer. To intimidate the magical visitors, Uncle Vernon has put on his best suit. Dudley, however, is rather frightened. His last encounter with a wizard didn't go too well. Soon, 5 o'clock comes and goes, but there is no car anywhere in sight. Then, at 5:30, Dudley comes running out of the living room, terrified. They can hear voices right behind the boarded-up fireplace. Mr. Weasley and his twin sons have used flue powder to travel from their fireplace to the Dursleys' fireplace. Only they didn't know that the Dursleys had blocked theirs to replace it with an electrical coal fire. So the three Weasleys are stuck behind the boarded-up wall. And when Ron arrives too, squishing them all even further, Mr. Weasley has no choice. He magically blasts his way through the boarded up fireplace, causing the electric fire to fly across the living room, covering everyone in white dust. The Dursleys are not amused, and when Arthur stretches out his hand to greet them, they back away. Fred and George hurry upstairs to get Harry's trunk, leaving the rest of the group in awkward silence. Harry can see how excited Ron's dad is to stand in a real Muggle home. After looking around for a bit, Mr. Weasley tries to start a very casual conversation about plugs. When no one is making an effort to join him in the discussion, Mr. Weasley gives it another try as Dudley re-enters the living room. He cordially asks him if he's enjoying his summer break, but all he gets in return from Dudley is a whimper. Finally, the twins return with Harry's trunk, and Mr. Weasley knows it would be best if they just hurry up and leave. He pulls out his wand and lights a fire in the Dursleys' actual fireplace. Then he throws some flue powder into the flames and asks Fred to go first. Fred, however, has spilled some of his candy on the floor. The older twin quickly scoops up the toffees before he jumps right into the fire, waving the Dursleys goodbye. George follows with the trunk, with Ron right behind him. Then it's Harry's turn. Without making a big fuss, Harry just says bye then to his aunt and his uncle, and is about to walk into the flames. When there is no reaction from Vernon or Petunia, Mr. Weasley isn't having it. He is startled by the Dursleys' lack of manners and directly asks Uncle Vernon if he doesn't want to say goodbye to his nephew, as he won't be seeing him for another year. Arthur sure got some nerve. Intimidated by Mr. Weasley's wand, Vernon mumbles a very reluctant goodbye to Harry. Right when Harry steps into the fire, though, he suddenly hears his aunt screaming behind him. He hurtles around to see Dudley has eaten one of the twins' toffees and has grown an enormous purple tongue. This causes the living room to erupt in complete chaos. While Mr. Weasley is kindly offering to help them get Dudley's tongue back to normal, Aunt Petunia throws herself on top of Dudley, shielding her son from Mr. Weasley. In the meantime, Vernon has started throwing china ornaments at Mr. Weasley. Harry is quite enjoying himself at this spectacle, but he knows it's best to leave and lets the adults sort it all out. Still standing inside the fireplace, he says loudly and clearly, "The Burrow." And with a last glance at the ridiculous scene, he vanishes into the green flames on his way back to the Burrow. What is wrong with you?
I just love bopping my microphone. Very well read.
Thank you.
That was awesome. I love hearing you read the chapter summaries out loud.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, the Dursleys. They're excited. They're not excited. They're actually really nervous. And we're going to talk about Petunia in a second, because she doesn't say much in this, but she's one of the most interesting characters in this, I got to say.
Okay.
But let's talk about the Weasleys first.
Mm-hmm.
And let's back up a little bit right before this chapter begins. I want to know, how do you think they decided who's going to go pick up Harry, and the way they would get to the Dursleys at first? Like,
yeah.
Do you think, because Molly was the one who wrote the letter, do you think Molly wanted to go
this way
originally herself, pick Harry up, and then Arthur was just too excited to, at the chance to go to a Muggle home? Oh yeah. I think it's definitely what happened. I even think that Molly probably would have recommended a car, or getting something, right? Even apparating there and just discreetly nearby, walking up to the door, knocking, walking back to a field or some trees or somewhere, I don't know, and just apparating, right? Yeah. But to me, it's a chance for Arthur to kind of go, you know what? I wonder, can we hook up our fireplace to the Dursleys? It's a Muggle household, and it's interesting that there is that connection. By the way, too, is it always connected, or do they disconnect it later? I forget. They did. Let me read that to you real quick. They connect it, but they disconnect it? Yes, so this is what it says. It's pretty interesting. Arthur knows, he just knows someone in the ministry, right? He explains, I had your fireplace connected to the Flu network, you see, just for an afternoon, so we could get Harry. Muggle fireplaces aren't supposed to be connected, strictly speaking, but I've got a useful contact at the Flu regulation panel, and he fixed it for me. So it's just for a day, and it's a quick little connection. It's probably not approved by anyone. It's just like for an afternoon. I think it's only probably open for a certain time, which could explain why they were a little late. Maybe there was some problems, maybe whatever his name is, the guy he knows at the ministry, he was a little late opening it up because it was a very restricted time frame.
Yeah, no one can be around when he makes the connection.
Right.
Somebody unexpectedly walked in at 5:00 when he was supposed to make the connection.
Maybe,
He's like, Arthur,
yes.
sorry, mate, but like,
Yep.
you know, Jonas was here from the department of whatever, and he wouldn't leave, and so then I
Right.
just had to kind of like
Could be.
stall for a second, right? So
And also, talking about the Weasleys and the way they travel to the Dursley home, we feel like for a second, how inconsiderate is that they just kind of assume they connect this fireplace without letting the Dursleys know what's happening. So maybe they hoped Harry would tell them. Plus, I think they tried to be considerate in this way. Traveling this way, they knew they wouldn't have to go outside and they wouldn't draw attention to themselves with their weird clothing.
Yeah.
I know they know how to drive a car, but yeah, I think they just tried to be considerate that way too. I mean, it's faster anyway, so they don't have to spend a whole day driving there, a whole day driving back, because we don't know how far is Ottery St. Catchpole. How far is that from Privet Drive area?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense that he sort of trumped Molly and basically said, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you got your way with the letter, and that was nice and everything, but this is, I can't resist.
Yeah.
I have to go talk about plugs to
Yes.
this man. So, like,
That's awesome.
yeah.
There's also, again, we read this from the perspective of Harry, right? So Arthur, after he's done explaining to the Dursleys what happened and why they came through the fireplace, so he says, like, no worries, I can put it right in a jiffy. I'll light a fire to send the boys back, and then I can repair your fireplace before I disapparate. All this after he explained the flu network. So then Harry says he was ready to bet that the Dursleys hadn't understood a single word of this. And of course, I want to ask you, do you think that's true? Do you think Petunia did not understand a single word of this?
No, I think she's also overwhelmed, though, too, and she probably did understand some of it. I think she has a secret obsession. She wanted to go, right? She wrote a letter to Dumbledore asking if she could go.
Yes, and I just can't imagine Lily back in the day. I mean, it kind of... They still lived together for so long. Lily went to school for 7 years, and you can't tell me that she didn't come home talk about those things at home. And even though Petunia was jealous, she probably listened to or caught some of those phrases and knows what it means.
Yeah, and knows that her sister can disapparate and stuff, and took her test and passed and all those different things.
Yeah, that was a big thing, right? It's like a driver's license.
Yeah.
So they probably celebrated her passing the test. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe at one point there was somebody like James Potter who wanted to connect his fireplace to her fireplace and sneak her over, and Petunia's on the stairs.
But you can't do that with Muggle fireplaces. So.
Well, so I'm saying maybe he's an unregistered animagus, so he knows what he's doing, right? I can see James doing something like that. Yeah. So I think she did know some of it, but it's again they're all overwhelmed. Poor Dudley is like clutching his behind because he is worried that something else is going to happen. I know.
That point is, I mean, sorry,
Hagrid's wrong.
Dudley is so traumatized that he runs around all day already worrying about his butt.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, why didn't he just go to his room? Why did he feel like he had to stick around downstairs? Like, I feel like if I was a kid and, you know, my brother, in this case, they live like brothers. So, like, my brother's getting some visitors and I really don't want to talk to them. I would just go up in my room and, I don't know.
Yeah, I think, though, you can also be mildly curious and at the same time very traumatized because it's almost like you want to, you want to know sort of like, is there any, I mean, he has now double traumatic experiences here and he just, unfortunately, it's bad. We'll get to Petunia in a second because I have a lot to say. But, I don't know. He's just, poor guy. Feel kind of bad for him. He is a bully. I think he does bully Harry and stuff. But,
I know. It's like, it's twofold. And I wrote this in my notes. This chapter is brilliantly written because I feel such sympathy for both sides.
Yeah.
the Dursleys' beautiful home, sorry, but it is pretty neat, is being invaded by the very people they fear.
Mm-hmm.
Their living room is destroyed, and in the end, Dudley is getting hurt again.
Yeah.
But also, Mr. Weasley is just so adorable, and his honest excitement and his bafflement at how rude the Dursleys are to Harry. You know, like if you see it from his perspective, he has such a loving family life.
Yeah.
That he couldn't imagine not saying goodbye to a family member that you know you're not going to see for a whole year. His reaction is just so
Yeah, he's
honest.
dumbfounded. He really cannot believe it.
So I'm so torn between like both worlds. I can somehow relate to both perspectives, even though the Dursleys again are terrible, but also they didn't expect this. They didn't know, and they don't know how fast Arthur will be able to repair it.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
So you're right. I love Arthur, and I hate to take the side of this is just what I do. Okay,
Yeah.
but you're telling me that he works for what is his exact title again in his department? But it's like he knows about Muggles, and he knows about that this would not be normal to just come in.
That's what he tries to cover that up on a daily basis, right?
Right.
Or other people.
So the fact that he would be just rolling in a fireplace, I think is sort of crazy. Like he knows that's going to possibly upset them, right?
Yeah.
And what is it? I mean, then we were wondering, does he have to modify their memory, or after the trauma that they went through at the end of all this, or what?
You would think so, but I think we discussed this off mic the other day, that because they are in the know of the wizarding world, they don't have to do it.
Right.
Like they don't have to erase their memories, because let's say Lily and Petunia's parents, something happened to them, they witnessed something, no one would care because they know their daughter is a witch, so they know about the wizarding world, and no one needs to, sacrifice their precious work hours to go there and obliviate them.
Yeah. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So it's the misuse of Muggle artifacts office. That's where he works, right? That's his office. It's actually a division of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement.
Dang.
He's literally a lawman.
Yeah.
Okay?
Pretty much.
The old law dog himself. All right?
That's why he can tweak and twist the laws a little bit. He knows where the gray areas
He's an
are.
enforcer.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's actually great. Anyway, so he does raids later on, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about all the raids that he had to do, and he's raiding different, dark wizards' places and taking their stuff and saying, "Hey, you whatever."
Yeah.
And he knows that this is going to be abrupt, and this is going to be something that's going to be traumatic to them. I feel like he's had to go deal with a lot of different Muggle situations, and Muggle artifacts, and he is fascinated by them. So just blows me away that he would not think to kind of how abrupt this was going. I get the fireplace thing, like not knowing that they didn't have a fireplace or whatever. Making that mistake, but then just going in and even attempting to go by flu powder is, I think, an overstep.
True, but the fireplace thing. Let's go back and imagine Arthur in school. Probably one of his favorite subjects was Muggle studies.
Yeah.
But when he was in school, what did they learn in Muggle studies? And the materials they used and the information they got, they didn't have. I don't know. When did Arthur go to school? They might not have had electrical fireplaces yet.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't know about it.
Yeah, they definitely probably weren't popular.
Right? So technology, he's not really keeping up. I mean, he is with like plugs and different things, and he's trying to keep up with the Muggle technologies.
Right.
But what he learned in school was totally different. Like to him, it was normal, even for Muggles back then, to have a fireplace.
Yeah.
So, just Arthur, I think, he could be more informed. Sometimes you think, like, this is their speciality, and you don't know these things. But
it's all good. It's all good. It's a mistake, honest mistake.
Yeah.
But he is dealing with some pretty... I think probably now, moving forward and going back and talking to Molly, he's sort of like, okay, I kind of get it now.
Yeah.
I've seen them. I've met them. They were a lot, and they were traumatized. He should be able to kind of be like, all right. I don't know that we have any more of these situations really coming up, other than that he could just come stay, right? Harry can come and stay a few times or whatever, and we'll have the situation. Next year with the Dementors, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, it'll be Harry running around on trains or whatever and stuff, doing his own thing. But so they don't really get bothered much after this, which is fine.
This is crazy, though, because we always talk about Qui-Gon's quote about your focus determines your reality. And the Dursleys are so focused on the negative sides of the magical world, they only get to experience the negative sides, right?
True.
Their son is hurt and traumatized through magic so many times because
Petunia was hurt and traumatized.
Exactly, but it's also because they focus on that. They don't choose to focus on the fun side and the cool and whimsical and
right. You could look at how Jacob Kowalski kind of when he as a Muggle enters that world is like, wow, this is cool. Wow, it's awesome.
What a great idea to kind of get a comparison of the Dursleys and Jacob.
Yeah, it's just a totally different perspective on how you would handle. I think it's Dean or maybe it was Seamus, is talking about their parents and how like it was a bit of a surprise that one of them was a witch.
Yes, I think it was Seamus. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, so but it's just interesting that they would probably be again like Lily, like Lily Evans that. Her parents were probably like, this is cool. What else can you do? Can you show us that she can't do underage magic right at home, but can talk about it, can read about it, and then when she's an adult could probably show them a few things or whatever because they're
even bring home candy from Hogsmeade, right? And show them fun stuff like that.
So but Petunia was just sort of put out and she took a different stance and opinion and view on all of it. So sad. So. But I don't know when you're going to bring this up. I just can't wait anymore. I'm going to bring it up. So she does make an interesting parallel here between her and her sister. I don't know if you guys noticed this or not in this chapter, but Lily cast herself between Lord Voldemort and his attacks, right, and her son. She sacrificed herself. Yeah. And if you noticed, Petunia was willing to do the same thing. She believed her son was about to be attacked.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was.
And he was once, and she couldn't get there quick enough, and probably regretted that. Wishes she could have cast herself between Hagrid's abusive charm, and her son. And so in this, she jumps in front of him and is screaming loudly, she cast her own love protection.
She's protecting her baby,
and it halted one of the more powerful wizards in the wizarding world, Arthur Weasley. He didn't even cast a spell because of her love protection charm.
Wow.
Just going to say it, okay?
Do you think Muggles can cast that kind of charm? Like
Absolutely.
Petunia?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's a great question.
Like, could she, if, like,
they
let's say Arthur actually tried to kill Dudley, which he would never do, but let's just hypothetically say he cast the A spell. The AK spell.
Sometimes, honestly, like, you wonder going through a reread, like, is there any way that you could kind of come up with a new spin on different things or whatever? I've never once in my life thought about Arthur Weasley casting Avada Kedavra on Dudley.
No.
But if he did, and Petunia
would Dudley be protected forever?
She cast herself, right. Would she have protected him against all other magical...
Well...
There
is this spin to it where Arthur would have had to say, Petunia, you don't have to die. You can step aside.
True.
Right? That part, she doesn't have to. She has to be given the option to just say, okay.
Yeah. Arthur, we step aside, Petunia.
In the parallel universe.
This boy is mine. And wow,
Dudley is the chosen one.
That is wild. I don't know. The more important thing there is could a Muggle, let's say that Petunia was there the night that Voldemort came to attack Harry, and Lily and James were downstairs and were already killed by Voldemort, and he makes his way up, and his aunt Petunia is in there. And Snape had said earlier, spare
Petunia.
But no. But actually, Voldemort messed up, and he thought that it was Petunia. He thought that
and he meant Lily.
He gets him messed up, and
the
Petunia,
Evans girl.
Yeah, she's upstairs. Okay, whatever. and step aside, Petunia. And so
I'll
then,
spare her life.
and then she's like, no, and she cast herself in front of Avada Kedavra from Voldemort. Would there be any protection, or since she's a Muggle, is there no way that, like, how far does that love magic go? Do we all have that in us? I'd say Aslan would say that we all do. You know, the ancient power of magic is in us all.
The Force is in us all.
Magic, yeah. So you guys know what I'm getting at.
Plus, Petunia has, maybe if there's a spectrum, yes, she's a Muggle. But since her sister is a witch, maybe she has certain, midichlorians, whatever you want to call it in the wizarding world.
Yes, her midichlorian count is a little higher.
Not as low as another Muggle's.
Right.
There you go.
Wow. How did we bring an M count into Harry Potter? We did. Wow. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah.
You can only hear that in Shell Cottage Radio.
You're only going to hear that. That is crazy. Petunia's love sacrifice theory. I might write a short on it.
That should be a short.
Yeah. Is this a joke? No, it's real. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I like that. I love that point, and it's good food for a discussion.
Hungry. Okay.
But yeah, I think we're going to leave it at, I think they could.
Yeah, I think they could too.
The magic of love is universal, I would say.
Yeah.
So there you go. One thing before we get to the end of this chapter, one thing I want to bring to your attention is, have you ever thought about the fireplace situation at the Dursleys' home? Because I thought, okay, how do you block a fireplace? So you have your mantelpiece, right? And you have the carved out fireplace going into the wall.
Yeah.
And what they did is, so this is in the living room, and they put like boards up, so they closed up the fireplace. The actual fireplace, and put, like, we have an electrical fireplace, which is like part of like a TV stand, which is awesome, but we don't have an actual fireplace. So they put that sort of like electrical fireplace in front of it.
Yeah.
Just to picture it in my head. And I thought, is this still echoing from book 1, where there's letters coming through the fireplace, and Vernon was like, I don't think so. I'm going to close up this fireplace, and we're going to put in an electrical fireplace.
I forget.
Then, so I was like, oh, that could make sense. Like in book 1, they had a fireplace where the letters were coming through, so that means it wasn't boarded up.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I read up on this. I did the research.
Whoa.
It turns out, I think the Dursleys in their home actually have 2 fireplaces.
Really?
Yes. And I went back to book 1.
And they do.
Because I thought, how cool is that if you still have that lingering from book 1, that Vernon Dursley was like, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to close the fireplace.
Listen here, fireplace, you shut your mouth. You shut up.
So there's no more letters coming through. But I think this fireplace, since we know the Dursleys, has always been boarded up.
Okay.
And they had an electric fireplace because in book 1, it says it is Sunday morning, and Uncle Vernon sits down at the breakfast table looking tired and rather ill, but happy. No post on Sundays, he reminded them cheerfully as he spread marmalade on his newspapers. What? No darn letters today. Something came whizzing down the kitchen chimney as he spoke and caught him sharply on the back of the head. Caught him sharply on the back of the head.
Yeah.
Next moment, 30 or 40 letters came pelting out of the fireplace. So they're sitting in the kitchen, out of the fireplace like bullets. The Dursleys ducked, but Harry leapt into the air trying to catch one.
Dang.
So we know there is a fireplace in the kitchen. This fireplace is in the living room. So I think the Dursleys have 2 fireplaces.
Did you know that the Dursleys have 2 fireplaces?
Important knowledge.
Bet you didn't know that.
For the extreme trivia question.
Who does that? Who goes to that level? That's Fleur for you guys, okay? It's crazy. We sometimes are in the car, and we'll be listening to the chapter, and some of the most, like, minute little details, she'll be like, did they say this, or did they mean this? And I'm like, what? That is so, like, what?
Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Cool.
But then also I miss other details. You know how we discussed how I probably watch some films or some shows, and sometimes I keep thinking about a certain detail for 5 minutes and I miss what happens the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's why it takes so long for us to produce the podcast, guys.
What?
No, we were listening to this chapter in the car, and actually we got to the point about the fireplace, and Lottie was like, wait a second, are there 2 fireplaces? And then she went on this thought for, I don't know, 20 minutes, and the chapter was over, and we had to go back and re-listen to it. So JK. But no, yeah, it happens, but it's okay. You know, your little mind's just ticking away, and you're thinking about things.
Yes.
Thinking about things in the chapter. It is very interesting, and it's I like imagining the Dursleys' home, because, you know, we're looking to maybe get our own little pad later here soon. And I'm like, man, what else? Like, I in the movie, I really like the way their house is set up. I think it's cute, and I think it's like nice, and I like their backyard.
Nice and neat and tidy.
Yeah, neat and tidy.
Even though I love how Shell Cottage is described, so I'm going for
me too.
More for the Shell Cottage vibe here.
Me too, but yeah.
That's why we're not called Privet Drive number 4. Can you imagine a podcast called Privet Drive number 4?
I mean, hello, friends, and welcome back to Privet Drive number 4. I'm Vernon.
And I'm Petunia.
And we're your favorite people in this series. People will lose their minds. Guys, I mean, that's the new name of the podcast, by the way.
Sorry, yeah, we're changing it.
Yeah. This is Privet Drive number 4 radio.
Oh, gosh.
Coming at ya. Okay. Sorry, moving on. Anything else?
Yeah.
You mean like the big moment in the chapter where like the toffee is dropped and like how
there's a giant
big
purple
is
tongue.
his tongue?
Like it says, like it was slithering like a python.
Oh, this is why I had that dream last night. Remember, I woke up this morning and I told you I was like, literally, you guys, I woke up twice, went back to sleep, thought, don't think about the snake. And I literally thought about the snake again. And I can tell you from the creek bed where I used to kind of like the little ravine that I would go over to get to the creek. That's where the snake, at the back of the field property.
You saw a snake, yeah.
Right there. We were actually stepping on it. It was so gigantic that in my dream I was stepping on it to like walk up this hill. And I had done it once, and when I came back down, I was like, oh my God, there's its head. There's a freaking snake, and we've all been walking across it. It's buried in the mud. Oh my
You're
gosh.
really afraid of snakes.
Wow. I'm so afraid. I used to go down to eastern Kentucky. They got copperheads down there, rattlesnakes and stuff. And I mean, we saw them. We were literally, oh my gosh. I had an aunt. This is no joke, you guys. My great aunt Viney. Her name was Viney.
Oh, that's cute.
I'm not even kidding. She made some really good fried chicken. But I remember one of my earliest memories there was like walking off the back porch and her saying, watch out for the snakes out there. And I was like, what? And I'm looking at mom and dad, and dad's like, yeah, it's copper, just, you know. So here I was like skywalking, because the way I would walk from the porch to like the basket, she had a little hoop where we could shoot some baskets. I mean, I wouldn't even look in the grass. I've seen snakes over there under the porch, and there were snakes out in the grass. Yeah. And they were just like, you could hear them. Rattlesnakes.
I think I would be more afraid of snakes if I had actual encounters.
Oh, I had encounters.
Actual encounters with them, because I only see them in the zoo, and I'm like, oh, they're...
My sister was not afraid. She was not afraid. And she's like, they're over there. They're not coming over here. Blah, blah, blah. Quit, you know, basically, quit being a baby. And I would be like missing shots, like looking over my shoulder, like, is this a snake coming? Where's it at? Like the whole time. And I was just scared to death. So anyway, his tongue, back to full circle here, is like a python. That's where it came from. I had a snake dream last night, and it wasn't Nagini. It was Dudley's tongue. Yeah. Gross.
Yeah, how do they... I don't remember how... We'll see in the next chapter what Arthur says. I think he just puts it back to normal, but he has some trouble because the Dursleys wouldn't let him. And this is where I feel like it wasn't the best to leave the situation to Mr. Weasley alone, because he clearly doesn't understand the Muggles as well as Harry does. And maybe you know, I feel like some interpreting on Harry's side might have been helpful, because even though the Dursleys don't trust Harry that much,
Right.
they still trust him more than Mr. Weasley, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Because Vernon was saying, so, like, what are they, he was asking him questions about what's going to be happening, where how are they going to get here?
Right.
Making him, he still feels like he has control and power over Harry, and he feels comfortable.
More comfortable, at least, to talk to Harry. So I feel
him.
like Harry would have been helpful if you stuck around, help resolve the situation, but...
See ya!
Bye!
Bye, Dudley! Have a good time.
Yeah.
With your tongue, toffee.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's huge, and that is traumatic. I want you, everyone, wherever you are listening right now, hopefully you're not eating. Dudley
almost suffocated.
Stop and
under
think
the weight
about
of his tongue. What?
It's unbelievable. This thing is actually a very dangerous product that they have, and his tongue is literally growing out of his mouth. Yes. It's ridiculous. Here's the thing. J.K. Rowling has at least captured some of, and I always say this, in this series, there's things that are just so stupid and ridiculous that you're like, that is nuts. And in your mind, there's your imagination's like, what does that look like? Oh my, I don't even want to think about that. That's ridiculous. So,
unfortunately, they didn't make that it didn't make it into the movie, the scene. But it would have been hilarious. So maybe into the show. We'll see. Maybe this is part of the show. That'd be great.
Maybe.
I think Fred and George, they definitely take it too far a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I think, Arthur's just like, there's some pranksters, haha. But also, to give him some credit, they just want to revenge Harry because they hear how badly Harry's been treated by Dudley.
Sure. Yeah.
And they normally wouldn't just evilly do that to anyone, I think. What do you think?
No, yeah, I know.
I don't think they would ever do something like that to Ginny.
They are picking on Dudley because they think they've heard so much about what a bully he is to them. And they're also at the next chapter they want to know what happened. Because they're doing research, and so they're doing research and they're like, you know what? Nobody wanted to try this one, or did they? I don't even know. I have to get to the next chapter. Reread. And they are like, hey, we'll just drop one of these and let Dudley pick it up. They know he's on a diet. They know he's on a diet because they've been writing to.
Horrible! He only had celery and cottage cheese for dinner or lunch.
I mean, Mrs. Weasley's been sending cakes and stuff and food, right, or whatever, and so they know that he's starving, and so they're like, well, let's drop one of these candies and see how it goes. It is mischievous. It is wrong, and hopefully they were firmly reprimanded by their father.
And mother, for sure. We know that.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. But, I mean, again, it sucks. It sucks, but it's never right, just so you know. No. I have to put my teacher cap on here.
Yes.
And basically say, just because you were bullied doesn't mean you should bully back.
No.
Right? Take the high road, be a hero, and, go about your business. Put out good energy and attract better energy and put whatever I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Be good.
Yeah.
That's not my it's not my normal speech to the kids. It's much more.
Kids, be good, okay?
You guys, hey, knock it off, all right? I'm telling you right now.
That always works.
Guys, knock it off. Actually, I mean, I am.
Oh, I know. You have a different side.
Well, I was gonna say.
That you have to.
I don't want to use my teacher voice on this podcast, okay? But nobody talks in my study center. Sorry, unless it's an academic question. Oh my God, I can't believe Ez was like that. Is he really mean to this kid? No, I'm just we are productive. Okay, get in there and get stuff done.
You're a good teacher.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So are you.
Thanks.
Okay. Anything else though? I mean, I feel like it is what it is. I bet you. Last point for me is that I bet Arthur at some point when you're losing control of the situation, he's what's the muffliato? No. Silencio, he just silence. He just uses a few spells and says, psh, psh,
I mean, he could
petrifies a few people.
Literally
and says,
just petrify them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Or what Hermione uses in the movie, at least with the pixies. The Cornish pixies. Immobile.
Immobilus. Boom.
Immobilus. Yeah.
Freezing spell. Psh,
yeah.
He has to do something. I'm sure he did a couple
too.
of different quick wand movements and said, all right, sit down, stop, watch this.
Yeah.
Reparo. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, for him, it's like a swish of a wand. And
here, it's all good. Look, it's all good. Your tongue, good. Petunia, you see? Okay, all's good.
Yeah.
He had to kind of do, I would just silence them, sit
Maybe
them down.
that's why he sent Harry back, because he didn't want him to see that.
Right. And I hope he modified their memories to give them a better...
I don't think he did.
He probably didn't. But whatever. Who knows? Yeah, what do you guys think? Did he modify that? Would it have been more appropriate to modify their memories? They're doing it to other muggles all the time. So
Right,
why
I
not
think he
just go...
should've.
Yeah, why not just go ahead and say,
Especially
this was traumatic.
also for Harry's sake.
This
you
is
know?
traumatic. Like, let's just...
Because he knows that Harry is
forget
already
this
treated...
ever happened.
He already knows Harry is treated poorly by them because they hate magic. Now you showed them magic is terrible.
Yeah.
Now they're going to treat Harry even worse. So
Right.
maybe it would be helpful to do that, but
Right.
don't know. Maybe otherwise, maybe he thought, no, I'm not going to do that because now I have to write a report on how I modified the Muggles' memories.
Right.
I don't know. Then also it gets covered. His cover is blown on the whole adding their fireplace to the Floo network. He didn't want to draw attention to it. Maybe there is some kind of thing. You know how there is this the magical thing when underage wizards do magic.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow the ministry knows. Maybe there's a similar thing to Obliviate where they know if you obliviated a muggle, and
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's just a lot of explaining. That's all you
Yeah.
have to say. Yeah, it would be a lot of explaining.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Wow. Who's hungry?
I'm hungry.
Let's go. Okay. I'm thinking
We're
like
not doing
Chipotle?
Dudley's diet, so.
I mean, I'm sorry.
I'm actually hungry for breakfast, even though it's already 1:20.
I really want Chipotle, so
It's actually-
we'll just have to.
Yeah, we can get Chipotle.
I mean, right? Okay. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're getting some Chipotle or something. I don't know.
Get yourself some good food.
Get some
that you
good
like.
food, right? And have yourself a little toffee and
Some celery and cottage cheese.
Celery.
Actually, that's pretty good. But
Yeah,
if that's
yeah.
your only food for lunch,
right, yeah.
I get it why he ate the toffee.
Hey, thanks again, by the way, to everybody who does support us over on Patreon, in reviews, in listens and downloads and shares, telling somebody about the podcast. We can't thank you guys enough for that. We know you do, and we just really appreciate it because we enjoy doing this. We're committed to the whole book series and can't wait for the TV show to come out. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We're still just going nuts over on Extended Edition, which is where we produce most of our Harry Potter content and long form stuff over there. So. Yeah, just fun, just fun. And I hope the Discord thing is going to be fun in the future. And
Me too.
Yeah, so.
I think so.
Okay, enough is enough. Enough rambling. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in this week. And thanks for tuning in to Shell Cottage Radio, 94.7 COZY. We hope that you're going to join us in the future. We thoroughly enjoy meeting new positive Potter people that don't be like bubbling bands of baboons. And people, unfortunately, Fred and George, that don't drop toffees on people that shouldn't be eating. Come on.
I mean, do you think McGonagall literally referred to the Weasley twins when she said babbling, bumbling bands of baboons?
Probably.
And they try to say it 3 times in a row. Babbling, bumbling bands of baboons. Babbling, bumbling bands of baboons. Babbling, bumbling bands of baboons. Okay, that wasn't great.
It was pretty good. I do think, though, that she was probably like, yeah, I'm talking to you guys. She probably had enough of there. I mean, it's great. It's great. I was a rascal in school. I get it. I have forgiveness for, like, thank God my teachers were like, you were nuts, but you're better now, so good.
Yeah.
Okay. We all can grow and move on. Anyway, if you don't want to miss out on the next episode, then be sure to subscribe to our podcast. It's getting magical. We're getting into the good chapters here. Not that these chapters are bad, but
we're going back to the magical world.
we're getting magical. So, again, leave us a review. We will do more of those giveaways again over on Instagram. Be looking for those on social media at fleurandbill.
If you truly enjoy our content, consider supporting our growing wizarding family on Patreon or Apple Premium. You will find all the links down below. Thank you so much to all our current patrons. We appreciate you, to Luna and back. On our next reread episode, we will discuss Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Chapter 5, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. So make sure you tune back in next time, and until then, have a great rest of your week. Thanks for joining us in our shell cottage today. We know it's not much, but it's home.